Black women dating outside of the race is always a very interesting topic here in Black YouTube. And some ladies are just believing that their opportunities are better outside the Black community altogether. Sometimes, even if white men are cheating at the same rate of Black men, you will still have some lady come on and defend white men just like this.
Hey y'all, what it is? Okay, so y'all, I was just sitting here thinking about the Doogie Jackson situation with his wife, his ex-wife now, how he literally had her standing in line, on their staircase, waiting. She was basically waiting in line to get fucked by her own husband because he was cheating. And I made a post about it a few days ago, and of course I got backlash because I've been cheated on by a white guy. My Russian ex cheated on me, but I didn't realize my Russian ex cheated on me till I put two and two together and all the dots together. Okay, I was not standing in line waiting to get by my Russian ex after he done his ex. I was not doing all that. So, before y'all start talking about how white men do it too, white men, if they do cheat, at least are classier with it. I'm just saying. But my point being is, there is cheaters in every race. But you know what? That does not negate that Black men use you.
And that is very interesting because this person will go ahead and defend white men for doing the same action as a Black man. Men typically cheat regardless of race, but that's okay. And then you'll have your other ladies out there who will come out and say that these other groups of men are serious, more serious than Black men. But listen to this. They will not take the BS that you give Black men in other communities. I know you don't believe me. Let's check it out.
Let me just give my experience dating outside of my race. I dated one Mexican and one Indian man. So first things first, men are going to be men in every single race. It doesn't matter where you go. Men are men regardless. Number two, these men are very intentional with their dating. When they say they're looking for a wife, they are looking for a wife. And once they find that, they're not going to waste any time locking you down. If you are what they're looking for, they move fairly quickly and they view marriage as a duty, right? Lastly, Black women, if you want to date outside of your race, you need to be disciplined. When they say we're going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, you better be up at 5 o'clock getting ready. They are not going to deal with the lack of discipline. And what we make Black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make Black men put up with, they are not going to go for that. And what we make Black men put up with, they are not gonna go for that.
Put up with what? Not this ninja.
Clearly the lady is contradicting herself. She's saying that other groups of men tend to be serious when it comes to looking for a wife, but the same issues that Black women are giving Black men, these other groups of men will not take. And that leaves us to the main part of the video. And this is a sister who is named Taylor Michelle Coleman. Check her out on TikTok. She has some pretty good information over there. And she is a lady that has specifically dated white men in the past. But she's going to reveal some things about white men that maybe we all need to check out.
Yeah, we got to talk about this. And before y'all come at me in the comments, this is a personal testimony as someone who has dated outside of my race. Plenty, okay? A lot of y'all like what you see when you date a Black woman. You love the beauty of Black women, which I can't blame you. You love the aesthetic. You love how different we are. You love our bodies. But the problem is a lot of y'all don't even like Black people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Bruh, where are my Black women at that have dated white men? Because y'all know exactly what the I'm talking about. The Black women who have literally experienced being called the N-word by the white man that they're dating. Let's talk about white men that have literally had children by black women, but can't stand black people. Why do y'all do that? It honestly, I'm discombobulated because make it make sense. Hold up, let me do some math real quick. Yeah, it's not adding up because how you gonna date somebody and then just pretend the whole time like you really mess with them and with them, and whole time you racist as hell, can't stand me. True story. I have a friend who's half white. She says her dad is a stone cold racist. When I say this white man hates it that his daughter identifies as a black woman. Explain that to me. Please. I want to know. Get in the comments and explain it to me. Because y'all been doing this shit since slavery and even before then. Yeah, because we haven't forgotten. We ain't forgot. So y'all need to stop. If y'all really aren't down for black culture and black people, stop dating us. Because it's actually very disrespectful and it's hurtful. And I'm not with it. So stop.
So guys, I kind of want to deal with that if I can. And basically what she is saying is something that I think a lot of us know, that a lot of people who deal in interracial relationships don't necessarily like black people. All right. And that could be the case for some of them, but there's definitely enough evidence to show that there are people who specifically like dealing with African Americans, are blacks in general, but these people are still very racist. Just because they're sleeping with black people, it doesn't mean that they like black people. See, those are different things, right? And those are not the same thing. And this lady she seems, quite upset, and she's saying, hey, we know about this. Like, why do y'all do that? But it's very interesting because you keep dating these guys. That's the one thing I don't understand. If you know how they are, and this is what keeps happening, and again, I appreciate the sister for this, then why do you keep engaging in these relationships with these non-black men if you feel that a lot of the men that you're coming across are racist? But that is exactly what is wrong with the Negro mentality. You see, there are a lot of people out there that are dusty, like she said, right? And she is pretty fair and balanced. And you're going to have some white men out there that are just as dusty as a black man and vice versa. But the reality comes across on the ground that a lot of people think that white women or white men are better. But the reality is that white people typically want to date black people from a position of power. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. I'm living here in Uganda, and every time I see a white person dating a black person, it is only because, in my honest opinion, it could not be for everyone, but these white people are elevated, or they have an elevated status dealing with blacks, meaning that they would have a more of an elevated status in the African or black community than they would in the white community. So when they come here, on average, if you're a man and you're not so successful in, let's say, the UK, hell, if you came to Kampala or Nairobi, Kenya, on average, you're going to get a lady that looks a lot better, younger, at a cheaper, more affordable price, as far as taking care of her. And you're going to be elevated. If you have kids with her, your kids are going to be elevated. So it's a position of power that Caucasians typically deal with in dealing with blacks. And blacks understand that they're at a relegated position. All right. And this is what blacks feel. And they feel that a lot of times in dating these other groups, that these other groups are going to be more smart, or going to be smarter rather. They're going to be more organized. And the reality is that you don't really get all of that. You still get the smoke at the end of the day. And I think the other groups around the world have understood that. Arabs, let's look at Saudi Arabia. Let's look at the Emiratis, Qataris. They have figured out, without a shadow of a doubt, we'll never be white. Okay? We will never be Caucasians. It is best for us to marry ourselves. That's why you see Dubai and you know, other these countries in Qatar, Doha, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, they're developing. They've already adapted the fact that we're going to develop our own group by sticking together, and we're never going to be accepted by that group. Same thing you've seen with Singapore. Singapore has also had that same mentality, and even Malaysia. These other groups out there understand that we're going to never be white. Okay, so it's better for us to try to stick with our own group and elevate our own community. But now with the blacks, we feel like, okay, instead of developing our own community, we are better off going to these other communities and then get upset when they treat us like we're not a part of the community. In other words, we want to feel like we're a special Negro, you know? So they're not gonna, you know, be mean or be rude because they're having sex with one of us. So, and they're having babies with one of us, or they're married to one of us. But again, just like she said, a white person who's racist could have a baby with a black child and be upset with that, you know, half black child who then wants to identify as being black. And it would make more sense to be like, well, why are you marrying that person anyway, or dealing with that person anyway if you're a racist? Because a racist can have sex with somebody that's not in the same race and even be in a relationship with that one individual because they're in a position of power and authority over that individual. So they're going to get some of their needs and stuff met. The guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.